I'm going to do Mr. Kathy. Safety. He just got off the bus. He drives the bus for us a lot, and he was like, I can stay if you want, but I'm on a sweating. Get out of here. Nothing new on the front there, you know, just continue to finish out the school year with safety at the forefront of everybody's mind, because we know that this is the season that a lot of that stuff happens. So we're just reminding our people, do your due diligence, especially, you know, when there's not a lot, I shouldn't say, there's a lot of parties and whatever, a lot of different people coming in the buildings, and the structure is a lot less than it normally is. And so, hey, everybody keep your eyes open, ears open, and finish strong throughout this year. So, as far as my report is concerned, good training with Matt and Mindy. They drank from the fire hose the other day. We had, you know, all our different people come in and just talk to them and say what they do. It was really good training. And then I just really want to talk about construction. Exterior lighting, we feel pretty good about it. We're having 2 more poles that put in down. If you drive down Stadium Drive, they just dug the trenches, and obviously it rained a ton, so they're at a standstill right now. But there'll be 2 more poles right there, and they drug a trench to get the light that's in front of the high school. So they're right there. There's a light pole right there that hadn't worked for a while, and so they went and got power from the sign to get that going again. And so we'll have that powered up with light there, and then there's going to be a pole right here and a pole right there. So hopefully that lightens that up really good in front of that. Once we get that done, we'll kind of reevaluate, drive around, look at it, and say, all right, here's the dark spot, here. We're still working on some of the photo cells. Like if you walk out here right now, these are still on, right in the parking lot right out here. Those are currently still on. So we're still adjusting some of that stuff, and once again, once we get that all done, we will reevaluate it. Bathroom renovations, we will try to get all high school done this summer, and then probably we'll go to junior high. Those are just the 2 biggest ones that we have that take probably the biggest beating. And so we'll try to get high school done this summer, and then junior high, if we can intermittently do that throughout the next school year, we'll try to do that. But those are the 2 campuses, 2 priorities. No offense to the elementary and intermediate, those are just the worst shape. So, I have some other renderings for y'all. I just printed off 3 copies, and y'all have seen a lot of this. But a couple other renderings. First one, you got just a bird's eye view, and remember, so the CTE building in this rendering is going to move to the right 20 feet, okay, to give us some more room in between those 2 buildings. Does that make sense? Okay, and then if you go to the next page, any questions on that one right there? Okay, if you go to the next page, just a good rendering of the, so if you were at the, probably like shot put rings, right there over at the intermediate, that's probably a good view of what it's going to look like. So that's a big building that's going to be there. It's going to change everything. So that's 64 feet tall. It's going to be right there by that road. If you go to the next page, it's a good rendering of what the activity center is going to look like. You can see at the top the 4 different screens to go down to make 4 different quadrants in there if you wanted to. You can see the fans up there also. And then at the end, there would be a net that would have a goalpost on it too, because you can see the end zone right there. So at that end, there'd be a goalpost net on there also.
It's going to be white.
What's that?
It's going to be white in there.
Yes, yes. We really looked at painting the beams red, but then after we looked at it, it made just too much red. You know, it had stripes and
I like it. It's very
the white could reflect the light.
It looks pretty sharp. And so then if you go to the next one, that's just the other look, and then you can see where the batting cages are at. from that look, so that's looking at just the opposite direction. You see the batting cages on the roof. So there'll be 2 on each side that will be able to be lowered. And obviously this is still just a rough draft of this, so we don't have any signage on the big wall right there. Some we could look into. It's just going to be a big white wall, but we put the tiger paws on the pads around there.
So the red is pads? Or
Yes, that'll be pads. Actually, it's pads 6 feet up, and then it'll be red. I think 8 feet, maybe 10 feet. I can't remember what Abilene's had.
Yeah.
But they had painted above it too,
yeah.
which will be, it'll just be plywood above that. But it'll be 6-foot pads all the way around.
Doorway.
Those are 12-foot doors, right? That we put in there, so they have it above the 12-foot door.
Yeah, so maybe they went that far up. Once again, this is just a red. 6-foot pads. Questions on that? Look sharp.
Yes, it does.
Look sharp. And then the next page, so this would be just kind of looking at it if you were from the apartments.
The
duplex right there. So if you're in the back of those apartments, so that's what you would see. That's what I was sorry, that you're talking about. And then the next page is just the dollhouse view of the CTE building. Okay. So that got it all labeled and everything on there, but it's a good look at it. That far left side would be...
This is where the current ag building is?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah, down at the bottom, I'm sorry.
This is over here.
Would face the... Yes. Okay, sir.
Does that 20 feet pretty much line up the sides of the buildings then?
It, pretty close. Yes. Yeah, it won't line up the peaks like they
Right.
had before, but yes, it'll be close. So when we start looking at fencing, we'll have to adjust it to figure out how we're going to do it with a gate. But it'll be sharp. And then, so above, you can see the stairs right here. So all this right here will be covered, and then it'll be storage up top. And then the far right, this is actually outside, but it'll be covered. But that's outside. And we'll get this stuff up on the website. We just got all the pretty colors and everything on there now.
Second tier.
This is higher, and it's all the same ceiling, but this is just opening storage for all this stuff.
And then those drive-through doors, were they 14 by 14? John, is that what you have put on there?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, those are 14 by 14 passengers.
Any other questions about that? Next month, hopefully we'll get some stuff moving. Obviously, a lot of rain. The steel is supposed to be here and start being erected at the end of June, and I think it's a 40-day putting up the steel. So let's cross our fingers. We love the rain, however, we need to get those piers dug and get moving on that if we can. So and those guys will be here next month to give us a full update once we start getting this building up. So the next part I want to talk to you about, I gave you just kind of, this is a rough draft timeline. So not last week, the week before, just a regular construction meeting, talked with the contractor and the architect about these next 4 projects. So the projects that we want to start this summer would be this pre-K, which is that red right there. So that is currently an awning where the pre-K kids go out and play. We're wanting to make that 2 new pre-K classrooms so that we can grow into it. So that is one of the projects. Another project is our back entrance to our intermediate. As you all know, with our new road, that road isn't the same as what it should be. So you know that everybody's coming and they're dropping off right here. So this has kind of become a phase of the school district, and it wasn't intended to be that way. So we would like to make that a lot better. First of all, put a vestibule in there so those kids are not walking straight into the cafeteria. And a little more safety and more efficient with our air and heat, because you open up those doors and it just heats everything up. So that project, and then at the same time, this project right here would just be a parking lot between the shot and the disc, but it would be an overflow for the intermediate. Because if you've ever been to the intermediate when they're having a program, I mean, it's just we don't have the parking for that. Okay? And it can definitely be an overflow for Stadium Park, because y'all know we have homecoming, everybody's parked all over the place here too. And so how many we can fit in there, they haven't designed that yet. Obviously we're in the process of doing that. So that would be the third one, and then the fourth one would be here's the junior high up here. Would be connecting the main building to the gyms. Okay, and it's drawn up right here to connect it through that whole covered area. But as we walked around there with the contractors and architects, we're thinking more of just a walkway between the back of the Alamo or right behind by the band hall, and then just going right into the gyms there. Just because if you've ever been a principal and you have this huge area right here, that's just another place to manage more kids if you have a huge area. And y'all know the junior high's got enough nicks and crannies in it anyway to manage the junior high kids. So just make that a little bit more efficient and smooth, but keeping them inside and keeping them corralled, so to speak. I don't know a better term for that. So that being said, there could be a whole lot of demolition with this. First of all, any questions on that? So there's going to be some demolition down here. With that, with the junior high, there's going to be some demolition, and this isn't going to affect too much, but there will be a little bit here, obviously none there. So these two are really important for me as far as disrupting the learning environment come next fall. And so getting back to a couple weeks ago, I talked with our contractor and our architect, and they had the idea of coming up with a guaranteed maximum price just for a demolition project, just to get that ball rolling. And so I like the idea so that we don't really waste the whole month of June and part of July for them to start knocking down walls, whatever they need to do as far as demolition. So that's the idea. I put this in front of you is to get our construction committee together and with the architect, with the contractor, and talk about a demo price. And so we're talking probably $75,000, $100,000. I wouldn't think it would be that much. I will say that if we did run into some asbestos, which we could at the junior high, obviously that would change the scope of, number one, the cost and time if we have to abate that if it's hot. So we're going to have TASB come in next week and make sure it's not hot. We don't think it's hot, but if it is, we need to know that now, so because that's the first thing we're going to have to do is abate. Hopefully that's not the case, knock on wood, and we go. So our committee would get together, and Paul Phillips was on that committee, and Clint Staples volunteered to jump on there in his place. The perfect person to have on there. These dates are just kind of rough on here. So June 5th, around there, to get together with our construction committee, our contractor, our architects, come up with a plan with that. And then if we have that aligned, then we come together and have a called board meeting to just get a price for that, finalize it, so then they can get to work after the 12th, if that's the day we do it. Okay? And then move forward, make sure all the designs are done, have a construction committee meeting around the 19th, and then hopefully everything's done by the 24th. All this stuff is designed to where we want it to be, and we have our guaranteed maximum price for those projects minus the demo. Did I explain that well enough to know that was
So there's no price increase or fees for doing the demo before we have
That's what we need to make sure that we do.
the approved.
Correct. That's what we need to make sure that
So
when we're sitting there
basically,
talking with them.
they can't get a guaranteed maximum price on the build yet, because they don't have it completely designed, but we're just wasting time, just waiting,
Right.
when we could be demoing.
Well, I just didn't know if there was like some kind of fee, like,
Oh, yeah.
you know, $5,000 to do it early, you know, or something like that.
And that's what the construction committee, we need to sit down with them and just say, this is what we want. Here we go. But I agree, yes.
It should be totally separate
Yeah.
subs, so, just me looking at it from a construction perspective, I don't think that would be an issue. I mean, it's separate subs, separate contractors, it's just, that's the demo team.
Right. Get in here and do your stuff,
Yeah,
and get out here and
get out of the way.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll give some certainty on starting too, instead of just, when are you gonna get it drawn?
Yeah,
We're
well,
trying.
it'll actually help on the bid process for the next phase, because then they can see what's in that wall.
That's
You
true.
know, talking about the asbestos and that kind of thing, you know, then they know what they're up against.
That building's been added on to before, is it not?
Which one?
It's the junior high law.
Yeah.
Like
But
12
it's
times.
actually, where it's being added onto is the newest part of the construction, so I wouldn't think there's any.
Yeah, that's what I said too. The Alamo.
I used to do the asbestos report for the elementary, and it's
Oh, yeah.
older than all of that.
Okay. That'd be good.
Mhm.
Hope it's not the pre-K.
No, it's not, there's not any asbestos at the elementary.
Oh, good.
No.
It's asbestos free.
That's wonderful. That's expensive.
Yes, it is.
That abatement is expensive.
Yeah, if it was anywhere, it would be at the junior high, but it'd be.
It would be
at the-
down at the other
in
end.
The old
Old office, old auditorium.
The
1%
Alamo
more.
is before asbestos.
I know it's before, but it's already been redone.
Yeah.
There's paper in the wall?
Yeah, probably may not be any
Newspapers.
information in there.
If you did find it, what percent more would it be?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'll plead the fifth on the racket of asbestos abatement.
I would-
So, Matt, maybe.
I don't think there's any in the district anymore.
That'd be great. Just want to make sure. So,
It's considerable higher, though, to get
Yeah,
everything.
well, you would know that.
10 times?
Insurance, yeah.
Versus regular? Yeah.
We abated at the auditorium there, I think it was 17,000.
yeah.
At the junior high.
Junior high
Yeah, I
auditorium.
figured that would probably be the,
Big chunk.
that's why we're the way we are.
Yeah.
For the junior high. I'm just saying.
Credit where credit's
We need to
due.
know. If it is, we need to know so we can get it done, just like now today. So, we should make sure. Any other questions about that? We'll just kind of press forward with that, and I'll keep you all informed about that process. Other than that, SLI San Antonio is the 12th through the 15th, and then Fort Worth 19th to the 22nd. And then just if y'all would pencil in the 9th, August 9th on your calendar, feed staff burgers on that Friday. That's the first Friday that everybody's back. So,
Staff starts the 9th and the kids start. the
well, the
next-
staff starts on the,
It's much
I don't even know,
Oh.
Like that.
6th or 7th,
Tuesday the 6th.
and then the 14th.
For school?
Kids start the 14th, staff starts back, I think the 5th.
Yeah, 5th. 14th for the
New
kids.
hires the 30th.
So,
And that, we started, what, at about 9 in the morning on, usually when we do the hamburgers, isn't that right? 9:30?
9 or 10, somewhere around there.
We're moving it outside this year. I'm not bringing that smoke.
Gotta get the steam.
All right.
Well, I was gonna
I got
die.
portables.
So when we get our nice new building right there, we'll have to be in business, right?
Yeah, yeah, there might be a little shade there.
Woody was like, no problem. You couldn't even see him. It was so smoky.
that's all I have for y'all. I appreciate y'all coming up early tonight and getting that done. I know we got a lot of stuff going on, so.
So June's pretty busy.
Pretty full, and,
For y'all, it's special.
yes, sir.
That 12th meeting, so the 12th, we have to be in San Antonio that evening. I know that's just a tentative date, but we could do that like at lunch, right? We could do the 11th
Yes,
at
sir.
lunch, or
Yes,
it's
sir.
not going to be a long meeting at all.
Correct, yes. And it could be the 11th or,
Yeah.
well, I just put the 12th down.
Yeah. Is everybody, I guess, everybody okay to go to San Antonio?
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not.
Not,
I'm ready to
okay.
go forward.
Yep. Right.
A million trips away this summer. Anyway.
Yep. All right.
That's all I got.
All right.
I do, this is the field of flags out here? Is that
Yes,
what the
oh,
poles
yeah,
are?
I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, they're lining it all up on Friday. They're having a ceremony at 9. I have to look that up, I think. 9:30?
It's 9.
Kids are supposed to come over on Thursday.
Thursday, we're setting it up.
Yeah.
Thursday or Thursday.
Friday, they're gonna have the opening ceremony, so to speak, and then Monday, I mean, we'll have a Memorial Day ceremony here. I don't know when that is.
So do the kids get to come see it when it's set up? Do you know?
They're just coming up to help a little bit, I
Yeah, there's
believe.
just a small group coming
Yes.
out.
Oh, gotcha.
So-
They're going to,
It's Thursday after when school gets out.
yeah.
And then it'll be up for graduation if somebody wants to take pictures with it.
Right.
And then it'll be there for Memorial.
The whole weekend.
Are you on that? Or-
We're actually the banner sponsor, so we're doing all the signage, and I think Mindy's husband's bringing us some light towers, and we're gonna store those, and I think the ag class cut the rebar and did all the poles. It's at our shop, and so
Is there some
we're just the logistics part of it out there.
Is there some kind of like ceremony or
There is a
service?
On
On Memorial
Friday
Day?
morning.
Oh, Friday
is the
morning.
opening day.
Okay.
I think it's at 9.
They have a Gold Star mom coming, lost her child in war or whatever, and they've got some different families and some people they're gonna honor, and I think our VFW post is Wendelby Zan post, and I think his daughter or granddaughter, what is Brenda, that be his granddaughter? Brenda Ransom? She's speaking,
Oh, yeah.
is doing something there.
And that's
I'll let you know
Friday
for
at
sure
9.
the
Okay.
time. Well, there it is Friday, for
I
sure,
just
Friday,
looked it up, it's at 9 o'clock.
9 a.m. Friday.
They supported the kids on the other night with scholarships.
I think they gave away three
$2,000.
three $2,000 scholarships from the money raised
The
to
field.
fill the
Oh,
field.
nice.
So they're trying to build it, and like the kids had to write essays. They took all the names, they totally took them off, and then they gave them the Gold Star mom, and they said, you pick the 3 you like.
Aw.
And so she did, and I believe she's supposed to come and meet
Yes,
the kids.
she's gonna be there at the
So is this the first year we've had this?
Yes. With this, I think there was a group that's come around and did it, and I think they took some funds and ran. And this one is actually a new group, and they've done it through the BFW post, and have all of their stuff together, and they just want to pour back into the,
They're really trying to grow
they're
it.
trying to grow it. I think they've got 100 flags this year, and they're wanting 150 to 200 for next year.
And how does that work? Like companies or
You can
businesses
actually buy a
sponsor 'em?
flag for a family member or whoever, and their name goes actually on the flag, and it'll be posted, and at the end of it, you get it. They present you with the flag, and then there's sponsorship opportunities.
And they have a crane with a huge flag.
We do have a big crane coming from Stephenville with a big flag, and it'll be lit up the whole time. I mean, that's part of having a flag. And then all of those flags will be lit up from Thursday night all the way through Monday.
It's gonna look pretty neat, especially.
It's gonna look really good.
graduation time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty neat.
The group that's doing it, they put a lot of work into it, a lot of thought.
Had a lot of meetings.
Yeah.
I knew I'd heard it, and then I saw the polls, so I was thinking that's
All right, that's all. Anything else anybody needs? All right, if that's it, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you, guys.